Hi guys, if you have read the title, you already know what this video is about. So I am reading Percy Jackson for the first time ever. I've already started it, as you can see, but yeah, so I'm one of the people who missed out on this while growing up, sadly, because like from what I've read so far, like 40 pages, this would have been everything to me. I mean, it's still really good, but it would have been everything to me while growing up. Like, yeah, I understand why there's such a, big fandom for this book. It's really good so far, really easy to read, and like, so basically without reading these, I did watch the first movie, I think, when it came out, with Logan Lerman. I loved it because I obviously didn't know what the book is about, but I've been told that the story of the book versus the story of the movie is quite different. Like, they didn't take a lot of the plot from the books, so I'm excited to read more of this and see how it compares, but also not, because I watched that movie like a long time back, so I don't really remember anything about it. Like, I remember the first scene, like the museum, but I don't remember what happened. Like, in this I know what happened, but like I don't remember what happened in the movie, and then basically just don't remember most of it. So when I started this and they were talking about Zeus in the beginning, for some reason I thought, oh, he's Zeus's son. But then we got to later point when like they were talking about lost at sea and stuff, like his dad is lost at sea, and then I was like, oh no, it's Poseidon. Like, and then it came to me, but like in the beginning I didn't remember that. So like that's how little I remember or like know about the series. But yeah, I'm really excited. I only have this one and the second book, Sea of Monsters, with me, so I'm hoping to read both this month. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm gonna take you guys on this journey with me and see how I feel about the book. I am very excited, and obviously I'm reading this finally now because the TV series is gonna come out, the Disney Percy Jackson series, which I'm really looking forward to. I have tried to avoid everything there is about the show besides the casting. Like, I know what Percy looks like. I know what Annabeth, I'm guessing Annabeth looks like, and like, anyways, I have seen the casting. I love it. I am very excited. So yeah, as soon as I saw that there was going to be a show, I bought the first one and then didn't read for over a year. But I also got the second one a couple months back at a second-hand bookstore sale. So I have the first two books. I'm planning on reading both at least this month, so that I think the show comes out at the end of this year or next year. So like I'll be ready for it after knowing what people know about it. So yeah, I'm excited. I do remember some things about the book, so like I feel like this is just going to be more like recap and like reminding myself of like some aspects that were in the movie. So yeah, I'm more excited to just like get through this one and then read the second book, because that's the one I don't know things about. Yeah, anyways, time to go read. I've read 40 pages and I've already annotated, you can't see, already annotated this much. So I feel like this is definitely going to be a book that I annotate heavily. So yeah, let's see. I've read up till I'm on chapter 6, page 75. So far it's just reminding me of all the things I'd seen in the movie, like pretty similar so far. But yeah, I am enjoying it. It's a very easy, fast read. Very like not even young adult, like somewhere between middle grade and young adult, or middle grade. He is 12, so makes sense. Yeah, we'll continue reading and share later. 100 page. Stopping here for today. I read like 75 pages approximately. Yeah, a lot of annotations. So far I've gotten to the point where, you know, he finds out about his quest, and like it's like right before they leave the camp, and like as I'm reading it, slowly it's coming back to me, the movie, and I'm remembering, like, you know, what happens when they leave. It's slowly coming back to me, so I'm like remembering more of it, but I'm also seeing the differences between the book and the movie. So that's also nice, that it's not like I'm just reading what I've already seen, I guess. So yeah, that's all I have for now, but I am enjoying it a lot. Hello, it is Saturday. I am on page 149, chapter 10. Let's get started. Page 200. Also, does anyone else just get so excited when you see like a date that's like special to you, I guess? I don't know. Why are the chapters so long? I mean, they're not even that long. Like, I don't know why they're feeling so long to me, because I've read Secret History. That had like 100 pages for each chapter. Like, I've read that, I've been through that, so I don't know why 25 pages in one chapter is feeling like so much to me. But I keep taking like small breaks between like each section where something's happening, I guess. So it's not been too bad. I am on page 245 and I have like, what, I just started chapter 16 where they go to Vegas. So like, I think up until the gnome thing, like where they met Medusa, like that was like still very much stuff that was in the movies, so I kept recalling those parts. But then since then, I think it's stuff that wasn't in the movies, because I don't remember like the water park stuff or like Vegas and like all these things. The next thing I remember is being like them being in the underworld, like going in it. So yeah, so now it's like picking up for me also, because it's like stuff that I'm not recalling, so it's something new that I'm reading, I guess. So yeah, I am enjoying it a lot though. Like, it is so much better than the movie, just because of like the writing and like explaining like the Greek stuff and like so many things. And there's like a small part like when Ares comes in the book and stuff, and like they're talking about Ares and Aphrodite's, you know, relationship and stuff, and like it just reminded me of this other book that I'd read that was kind of based overall. It's called Lovely War by Julie Berry. It's really good, highly recommend. But yeah, just reminded me of that, and like some other things that, like some other chunks of knowledge I have from other like Greek books, Greek mythology books and stuff, like, you know, Song of Achilles or like Circe and like things like that. Like seeing that in like this and like how they all connect, like, is just fascinating. So yeah, I am enjoying it. I think I'm going to at least try to read till page 300, which is probably like 2 chapters. So yeah, I'm excited. Yeah, it's been like the perfect weather though to read this, because there's been like lightning and like it's looked like it's about to rain like the entire day, but it hasn't. Like, at least in my area, I know in other parts of the city it has been raining, but it hasn't rained yet here. But like it's literally just been gloomy. I had to turn the lights on because it was too dark to read. Yeah, so perfect weather to read The Lightning Thief. Yeah, anyways, back to reading. So Ares, they came back from the water park, and Ares just told them, you know, that the zebra thing, some animal thing. I'm talking like I don't know, like I didn't just read this part. Anyways, they just met Ares afterwards, and like he told them that Percy's mom is still alive, she's a hostage, whatever, and now they're on their way to Vegas. I literally was just talking about rain and it started raining. Oh my god. I think my biggest issue with this, like with reading this, even though it's my first time reading it, I have already seen the movie, so I know who actually stole it. I think that's why this is like a little bit dragging for me, because I already know the big plot twist. So yeah. So I mean, like when I'm highlighting, like when those little hints come up, like I already know it. So I'm just like, you know, it won't be shocking to me at all because I already know it. But I can imagine, like, if I didn't know this, how much more the book would be like. Yeah. Finished another set of annotation tabs, and I'm on chapter 20, page 320. One thing I love about this book, or like I'm guessing the entire series, is that like, because in the movies they didn't seem like 12-year-olds, obviously. Like, I think we lost a lot of the humor that Percy has, and like even Anvita, and like I feel like we lost a lot of that humor because of the age difference between the character in the book versus the movies. Yeah, because I am loving the humor. I'm loving Percy's like so different in this. He's like snarky, he's like, he doesn't care, like he's like the typical, you know, the chosen one. He's going through all the things, but like he's also not wanting to accept it, and he doesn't care that, you know, they're gods and like you have to respect them and like be a certain way with them, and like he's just saying whatever he wants and like doing what he wants, I guess. So I think that is really nice in this, and that like they failed to get in the movies. I still think the movie wasn't really that bad. I don't think it was a bad adaptation. They did take out a lot of it, but like also kept a lot of the plot points the same. So I feel like they did a pretty good job for the time period. Like, it came out in 2010, so I think they did a good job. And I mean, it has Logan Lerman, and like I'm forgetting the name of the actress, but like who played Annabeth, she's great too. Like, yeah, I don't know, might rewatch it and see how I feel about them now, because I did watch them 13 years ago. So I don't know if, you know, what I have in my head is still the same. Like, because obviously it's been 13 years and I watched it when I was 11, 12. So yeah, could be that I was just like, I loved it because I was a child watching it. Anyways, yeah. Also, another thing I just remembered, like I knew, because I remembered this part in the movie, I knew that, you know, the person who actually stole the lightning bolt and like the helmet or whatever, I knew who that was, like the person who stole it, like physically, but I didn't remember that like it wasn't like which god it was who was like controlling him and stuff. So like coming to the part where we realize it's not who we think it is and stuff, that stuff is still like getting to me. Like I'm still like shocked, because a lot of it, like I thought I knew who we were dealing with, but I didn't. I mean, I still know who the end person is, like the one who stole it. I just don't know which god is controlling that person. But yeah, I am almost done. This much left. Not even this much. There's like a bit of it is Sea of Monsters, but yeah, very heavily annotated. I'm literally on the third and last annotation tabs I have, which has the blues in it. So yeah. I did not expect that. I don't know if that happened in the movies, but wow, okay, that makes a lot more sense, because now it makes sense like what the rest of the books will be about, because there was no like final fight. I can't remember what the wording was in the, you know, the story beats for the chosen one. I don't know if that makes sense. But like the final fight before like the chosen one wins, and then, you know, whatever, that didn't happen in the book. So I guess like all five of the, I think that all five of the books will be like leading up to that, and like that makes a lot more sense. Okay, wow, that is interesting. That is so interesting. And I am done. If you can see, yeah. Yeah, anyways, I am done. Yeah, I think now that I think about it, maybe I did watch the second movie, because there was a scene that I remember of Luke being on a boat with them, and I'm guessing that's the second movie, because nothing like that happened in the book. So maybe that will happen in Sea of Monsters, or maybe they just made that up. I don't know. Yeah, so I remember that. And I mean, thinking about it, that is clearly outside Camp Half-Blood, so it has to be after this, because Luke just left, right, at the end of this book. But yeah, this was fun. I had a good time reading it. My only issue, as I have said, was the long chapters, but besides that, I think definitely worth a read, way better than the movie. And yeah, I mean, I know, like, if I had read this like when I was reading like Divergent and stuff, like I would have been all over this. Like this would have been my shit. Like if only I'd read this in like 10 years ago. Yeah, and also obviously if only I'd read this when I hadn't seen the movie, because like I knew about Luke. So, and like most of the scenes, like I think there were very few scenes that were cut out in the movie, like in terms of main plot points, because like each chapter in this is like so very clearly like the chosen one's journey, and like, you know, each one has like a separate thing. Like there's the bus, there's the Medusa thing, there's the Vegas thing, there's the animals thing, there's the, you know, the hotel and stuff. Like all of it was in the movie except the animals thing, which I'm glad they didn't put in because I would have been scarred by that. Yeah, since I did watch the movie before the book, I don't know if my judgment is right, but I don't think the movie was that bad. I had a lot of fun reading this. I'm excited for the show. That's what I wanted to say. Yes, I am excited for the show. I am looking forward to it. I feel like since it's a show and not a movie, they'll include a lot more detail to it, and like since they actually look like 12-year-olds, it will have like more of, you know, Percy being himself. I think that's the one thing that I remember the movie didn't have. He didn't have the same humor, the same snarkiness, and like, you know, that attitude that he has in the books. So I think that I would love to see in the show, and I hope that it's in there. Yeah, that's all I have to say. Okay.